If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hello, kitties. This is your Domi, the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slasher Radio. My name is Mikey Bones. As always, joined by my host, Kat Velour and Rob Humphrey. What's happening, guys?
What's up?
Not much.
What's going on? We are also joined by a guest, Allie Surreal. What's going on, Allie?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. DBD Week. We're going to be joined shortly by Mathieu Cote of Behaviour, Dead by Daylight, all that stuff. So we're going to be in and out of here pretty quick. Rob, you've missed this one, unfortunately.
I did. These things always seem to be scheduled when I can't make it.
Yeah.
Definitely not intentional. Don't read into it.
I'm starting to think it's on purpose.
No, Behaviour, very busy company, especially now. They have a ton of shit that we'll get into before the interview, maybe after. Yeah. I don't know.
It's better that you guys handled it than whatever. I'm not super familiar with the game. Right. You know, I just don't play any games that much anymore, to be honest with you. It's hard to find time. Right. So I haven't played it that much. So, you know, it makes more sense for you guys to do it than for me to be there anyway.
That is fair. That's fair and true. We get into a bunch of stuff. As everybody knows, Chucky is coming to Dead by Daylight, which is super fucking cool. But when this comes out, it'll be less than a week, and I can't fucking wait. Stranger Things, all these things, and that's kind of the thing too with these games. And I know, you know, like a lot of our listeners, like how much of them game in general. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously there's a good amount. Like we got Will and Chris, and you know, but you know, we mostly talk movies, and that's the beauty of something like Dead by Daylight is that whether you're a huge gamer or not, dude, like Chucky's in there now, Ghostface and Freddy, and like it's something in there for anybody who is a horror fan.
Nicolas Cage,
yeah.
Nicolas Cage is in there.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is somehow in there.
I'm going to have Chucky running around trying to kill Nick Cage.
Could you? What a fucking world to live in, man.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
I've been making a lot of bold declarations lately about Willy's Wonderland being the FNAF movie I wanted. Nicolas Cage fighting Chucky is the new any kind of movie that I want. Blumhouse, please make this happen for me.
Yeah. I did buy the Nicolas Cage download or character, whatever it was DLC. When it came out. Yeah, but I have not played it yet. Time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, like that's the thing too. Dead by Daylight has a very, you know, like there's a side of the fence. And, you know, you're either on one side or you're on another, you know, depending on whatever games people play. But the thing is, like, I catch myself on there sometimes, and I've played the game for years. And I catch myself still to this day. Like I loaded into a match not too long ago as Ghostface on the Haddonfield map. Like that's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
And you have these characters chased, like you have Laurie Strode in the game, and you know, you can, if you're a Michael Myers, that's really cool. If you're Pinhead that's really cool. Like, you have this world that they've created with all these characters that a lot of people spent their whole life with, and you can now play them and against each other. And it's like a Super Smash Brothers of the horror world. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Right?
Yeah. They got Alien in there, right?
They do.
Yeah, man. Ellen Ripley.
That's cool.
And the cat.
And Jonesy's in there.
Oh, yeah. Jonesy's in there, too. That's
Yeah.
right. You told me. I saw that.
Yeah. Rob, does the fact that, are you aware, I think we talked about it last time, the scamper thing. Has the scamper thing won you over at all as far as wanting to?
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I will say, too, though, as far as like, there's a lot of things that make me kind of want to play this game, like get into it more, but it is kind of intimidating coming to it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also I know I'm going to get like in matches or whatever with people who know what they're doing, and I'm just running around like an idiot.
Yeah.
Wiggling.
I think that's the thing that like trips me up about multiplayer games in general. Because the ones that I've played that I've liked the most, I've been in on the ground floor, you know, where everyone's embarrassing themselves. But there is like a certain expectation where it's like, it's not even that I'm afraid I'd look silly. It's that like, I'm afraid I'd end up with someone who plays this shit competitively, you know, like, because I've had those people on my teams when I knew what I was doing, and that frustrates the shit out of me. I don't want to be that person.
There's a steep learning curve, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game has been out for so long, and it's become, we got into it with Matthew a little bit, the perks and all the things you have to know, and that anything could happen at any fucking time. And half the time, more than half the time, it doesn't tell you what happened. You just have to know. And that, you know, you have to remember that throughout the match. You have to remember that fucking forever in case you run into it again. And it's got all these different variables to it that is so fucking frustrating sometimes. But it's part of what they do. Like, you have to be at that level. And I know people who are insanely good at the game. And they're very patient. Like, we have Allie, our friend Huff. Rob, you don't like Huff.
No, I don't like Huff.
No, you don't like. But then you said you kind of liked Huff when he showed you his nipples.
Oh, yeah, he did show his nipples. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Okay. If you know, you know. We're not getting into that right now. So, but anyway, but he's so good at the game, but he's so patient with it. And we got Let It Hang to play with us, and he's never played Dead by Daylight. And you have someone who's insanely good at the game like Huff showing someone who's brand new like Marcus, and he was so patient and so helpful. That's the beauty of Dead by Daylight 2. As much as people from outside of the game might look at the toxicity of it, which exists in anything, but like people forget, like that gets so much shit that people forget there are people who want to help people learn how to play the game.
Saying all of that, I guarantee you I could test Huff's patience.
Oh, I guarantee you can too.
Oh, I bet you could.
You test mine on a regular basis. Yeah, I know you can. But I'm saying, oh God, Allie, could you imagine Huff trying to teach Rob how to play Dead by Daylight?
We have to make this happen.
That would be fucking hysterical. Patreon episode. God damn it, it'd be so funny. But that's the thing. Like it is intimidating. It's very intimidating. But you know, the thing I can tell people who haven't played the game yet, if you get a group of friends who are also interested in hopping on, do it together. And that'll make it better. You learn together, you help each other. This person figures out this, so on and so forth. Yeah, you're going to run into a match against somebody who knows the fuck they're doing, and they're going to run through you big time. But, you know, you can also have really cool moments. And I've been trying to be more active on Twitter. I actually just posted a thing while we were recording the last one. You know, I've been trying to post gameplay because it's wild how much fun you can have on the game. And even if you lose, like you could just go in there and say, look, I'm going to do this and I don't give a fuck about nothing else. And you can have a fucking blast, man. But anyway, so I guess we can kick them over to actually drink roll call real quick, guys, because I'm kind of happy. Does anyone have anything fun for drink roll call?
I got cheer wine.
Oh, look at you.
I was going to, Chris suggested a Jell-O shot drink that I started to make, but I forgot how long it takes to make Jell-O shots, so they're still liquid, and I'm having a beer.
Hell of a deal. But you have Jell-O shots for later.
But tomorrow I'm starting my morning with a Jello shot.
Sweet.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank
That's
you,
a
Chris.
win. Chris just set your whole fucking weekend, man. Look at that.
Future Cat's going to be very happy.
And then
Yeah.
slightly later down the road, Future Cat is going to be really pissed that I woke up and did Jello shots.
With a headache. I am drinking. Allie, do you have anything fun?
I have a margarita in a can.
Nice.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Cutwater?
No, it's Club Tails, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
I saw it and I had to get it.
I completely forgot you had got that. Allie had told me they have margarita in a can at this place. I'm like, you got to do drink roll call this week. So
Margarita in a can it is.
margarita. Rob, can you start drinking margarita in a can again, please?
I don't know, man. Those hangovers were pretty rough.
Yeah, but come on, man. Is that fair? You're going to be selfish? What about the rest of us?
Because you did margarita in a can. You know how it is.
Dude, margarita in a can don't play. Is that
Yeah.
one strong, Allie?
It is 10% alcohol.
No, but I'm saying, how do you feel, though?
It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I've only drank half of it so far.
God damn it. See?
Those Cutwater margaritas kicked my ass.
Maybe it's just how margaritas interact with cans somehow.
Could be.
Maybe.
It might be, but man, yeah, no. Rob, you had done by the time I got it. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 episodes of Margarita in a Can, and I finally had got it, and I was sitting there like, God damn,
Yeah.
without that thing. When it says it's over, it's over. You have no say in the matter.
Yeah. Those margaritas don't fuck around.
No.
Maybe I'll have to try margarita in a can.
Cat, do it.
The delicious cat.
For a long time, I was having a lot of fun, like seeing what the most insane cocktails I could find in a can were, but I feel like a lot of them haven't been strong.
Yeah.
This one is definitely strong.
Good to know.
You fucked around. See, again, and I made the mistake. It's all fun and games. You hear Rob Margarita in a Can, and it's funny, and then you do it, and you're like, oh. I am drinking. I found I don't like saying this, Monster Hard.
Oh.
Yeah. I have the Monster Hard. It's I don't know. I think they call it Beast because, you know, people don't want to go around saying fucking Monster Hard. Like they don't embrace it like Arizona did.
Yeah.
But I finally found it. It was at Rite Aid that I was in, and I was eyeballing it, and this was like the 3rd time I was in there. It was still there. I said, you know what? But I got like 10 of them now in the fridge. So this will be my drink roll call for quite some time.
Are they good?
They are fucking good.
Yeah. All right.
They're
Is
still
it
sugar free.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna ask. Oh, they are, Allie?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I didn't even look, and I, to tell you the truth, forgot to look. Dude, they're good.
Monster Hard. All right.
I am Monster Hard right now. Okay. Please don't ask questions. I'd like to move on and leave it here. But no, because we remember the Sunny D fiasco.
Yeah.
That was very unfortunate for me. You guys tortured me, Allie included.
Mm-hmm.
The first one to have Sunny D vodka on the show.
Yeah. And then you got it and it wasn't any good.
And I got it and I was so happy. And I took a sip and I was like, why does this taste bad?
Yeah.
This
those
isn't
were
supposed to taste
terrible.
bad.
I'm pretty
After
sure
all
I
this-
bought a 4-pack of those and threw 3 of them away.
God, dude, I bought 2 4-packs of them. There's no fucking finally. I don't know. I'll get this chance again. I was trucking through on principle, but yeah, but no, these are really good though. Honestly, they don't have the punch, but you know, it does a little. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
All right. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, hell of a deal. And they have different flavors too. This one, I don't know, mean green. The other one I had was white. The white one was better for what it's worth.
Yeah, I like the white one.
The white one's good. All right, so more Monster Hard to come in the weeks, I guess. Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, all right.
Nope.
Do I gotta bleep that?
Maybe.
I don't know if you have to bleep that. You do have to press your button though.
Whoop. Oh, come on, man.
I'm sorry. You're gonna understand. It's really important that I share this one today.
Oh, I'm sure it's real fucking important. Yeah.
It's always
Hold
very
on.
important.
Get the fuck out of here! You! Go back to turning tricks
fixing old folk and you pain in the ass.
This is the Gabagool Mystery Corner, where our listeners anonymously send in Italian memes making fun of me for being Italian. There's no other reason. There's no horror tie in here. I'm sorry. I've been trying to end it for a long time. They won't do it.
We actually missed the commemoration of the 1 year of Gabagool Mystery memes.
Really?
And I know because these are some of the first ones that were sent in. So
what? Wait, hold on. I haven't looked yet. The memes, we explain them on the show and they go up on Patreon, patreon.com//radio. Wait a minute. Why are we circling back? Didn't you say we had like 5 months planned for this?
Yes, but here's the thing, and Mikey, you're going to appreciate this. There are two.
I don't think I am.
There are two, and if I don't send both of them now, we'll have to do this again in another year. We'll have to do it again in another. I've already been sitting on these for over a year.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's slow down here. I haven't looked at the memes yet.
Yeah.
When was the anniversary of this fucking shit?
I don't know when the exact anniversary was. I know that these were received in the first month of doing Gabagool Mystery Corners, and you'll understand they kind of time mark roughly what period this started.
All right, at least we know where to look. But what month was it? Do you know?
It was in November. I think it was in early November. It might have been late October. It was like right around this season.
Son of a bitch. All right. I knew I've been feeling funny the last couple weeks, man.
That's
There's
what
something in the air. All right. Again, the memes we describe and we try and describe them on the show. Some of these are weird, but the images themselves go up on Patreon. Oh, come on, man. Wait. I think I've seen the turkey in the sink, I think. I don't know if it was from this or I just seen it because, people just do this.
I don't think it was from this. I had a different turkey that I sent you last year.
Oh.
And then like right after we recorded the Thanksgiving episode, I got these two in like that day. It was like shit. But I've been saving them a whole year. And then it was like, are we going to, because when this started, I did not think that we were going to be doing this for a full year.
Yeah, me either.
And I was like, it's going to be really weird when I send these in next Thanksgiving.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
We might be preparing for next Thanksgiving at this point. So,
so go ahead, send us your Thanksgiving Gabagool meme.
No, stop sending them. Okay, I have another question. When this is the first one is a sticker of a cartoon turkey doing the old capiche hands, and above him it says "Gobble Ghoul." I don't like that.
I like that.
That one's good.
That is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Patreon reference. Yeah, I don't like this at all. It's stupid. I mean, I'll admit the turkey's kind of cute, but it kind of looks like a chicken with a turkey tail. I don't know where they were.
That's pretty cute. You should get that as a tattoo, Mikey.
You should kiss my ass. There's no fucking
$1 million and Mikey will get the Gabagool turkey tattooed.
I don't want to get this tattoo ever in life, but I will say I will do it for less than $1 million. Like if you're hitting 6 digits, we could talk. All right. Also, I just noticed this. This makes it even more special. The background of the turkey on the sticker is a piece of gabagool. So, yeah, I don't like that. And apparently I got another one. And it's the turkey sitting in the sink holding the remotes. That's kind of funny. And he's got his like one of his legs cocked up, and he's got a beer in one hand and the remote control in the other, and he's got 2 onions for eyes, and I don't know what that is for a nose. And he looks like some dude sitting on a couch, and underneath it don't when's Gabagool? That's stupid. Like I don't understand. The Gabagool isn't an event. I don't and I also don't know why I needed 2 of them, Kat. I don't know. You could have saved one of them for next Thanksgiving.
I could have, but that means that we'd still be doing this next Thanksgiving. Is that what you want, Mikey? As we stand, we only have 15 more weeks from the folder, and then all of the stuff I forgot to download into the folder.
Well, Kat, I hate to break it to you. We're probably going to be doing this again next Thanksgiving anyway.
All right.
Our listeners are buttholes.
That is incredible.
That's not funny. The investigation also still continues from the whole fleshlight thing.
No, you still looking into that?
Yeah, I'm still the whole pasta station
Yeah, that
fleshlight
was a
thing. Yeah,
serious one.
I'm still looking into that. Yeah, that one's egregious. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and leak this little bit of information on the investigation. EyeRChris, I'm looking at you. All right, I'm looking at you, man.
As incredible as all that is, it's not as incredible as the fact that Tony Danza's son, Mark Anthony Danza, appeared on 2 episodes of Taxi portraying a foster child that Tony wanted to adopt.
Aw.
That's kind of sweet.
Kick him in the dick.
Rob. Why are we still doing this?
Well, the two kind of go hand in hand.
Unfortunately, that's true.
I mean,
I'll admit.
But rest assured, I will run out of Tony Danza facts before she runs out of Gabagool memes.
I thought we were on the brink of that, man. You said you were out of them, and now it's like you found new life.
I found a new place. Yeah.
Who the hell gave you the treasure map?
He got a book on Tony Danza.
God damn it.
But I mean, let's be honest. We've covered a lot of this man's life. There's only so many fun facts about one person.
What more could he have possibly done? You know, like at some point.
Stay tuned next week at Slasher Radio for another Tony Danza fun fact.
There's some more Tony Danza fun facts. We've got some more.
God damn.
Tony Danza, of course, the patron saint of Italian Americans.
Yeah, Rob just likes to give me Tony Danza facts to be disrespectful. I don't like that. All right, you guys done with this now? Can we move on with the show?
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel celebrated?
No, I'm annoyed and aggravated.
Well, then we haven't done our job
hang
yet.
on.
Cap,
I have some more. I have 15 more in the folder ready to go.
No. We don't need to do all that. I don't remember what this button is.
Hell of a deal.
Oh,
Hell of a deal.
okay. I don't know why I looked at it and needed to know what it was. All right. So fucking, I forgot about all that stuff. I thought it was going to be a nice show.
This is a nice show.
It's a wonderful show. Yeah.
Bullshit.
All right. So we're going to kick you guys over to the discussion with Mathieu Cote, Behavior, Dead by Daylight, game director, Dwight Fairfield, all those things. And we'll catch you at the end. Fuck you guys, man. Jesus Christ. It's not funny. Stop
That's a
laughing.
good one.
at me.
Look how cute that turkey is.
It's a chicken.
When's Gabagool? That's what I want to know.
It's just fucking stupid. Like well, what the hell, man? It's not a time.
It should say when's Gabagool like the other one.
It should. It's a stupid meme.
Then it would make sense.
It's not even good. Can we at least start getting like some type of qualification where the meme's got to be good? Like, all right, the chicken turkey thing, fine. That one, come on.
It's all right. If we start now, it just means I can say whatever the hell I want because she's not there to.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you know,
me.
just so you know, we have a thing where we record bleeps for our show. Like whenever somebody gets bleeped, we have a record of who gets bleeped and how many times they've been bleeped throughout the year. And I want you to know that you do have a bleep on our show.
Already?
Yeah, because last time, I forget, you got in trouble. You said something you shouldn't have said, and we had to bleep it. So you officially do own a bleep on the show.
That's
right.
good. Am I far from getting an award or something? Like, do I need to really work hard if I want to get to the top of the list?
You'd have to work really hard.
Okay.
You have one. Our other co-host who couldn't make it today has 43.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's in a run for the lead.
Yeah, well, I guess I could be in the category of guests, which is probably a little easier.
Yeah.
Also, do you just bleep swear words? No, I guess not. Right.
Yeah, usually it's just there's a very select few words that you can't say. You know, our network and stuff, and our co-host doesn't mind saying them and giving me extra work.
I was just about to start listing them, but I won't.
Yeah, no. Cat's gonna run up the score.
Not like the classic 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah,
for the most part. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. But
I'll do my best.
All right, so Matthew's gonna run up the score. Again, thank you very much for joining us. We're very excited to have you on again, Mathieu. We appreciate you taking the time and giving us some of your time.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure for us. Before we get started, you guys have a ton. You are very, very busy over there, Behavior. Very busy.
It's been an intense year. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. But before we get to everything that you have coming up, I wanted to mention just two things. First of all, you've been I've noticed you've been streaming. You've been active a little more on Twitch lately.
Oh, me personally, yeah. I find it super fun. There's a weird gang of people that sort of gathered around, especially a while back. I had a Minecraft server, and we were just playing super chill and constructing a little village there. So there's some friendships that spawn from that, and so I've started streaming again the last few weeks, mostly super chill games, and then I can talk softly and just enjoy my time with quiet people. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I hopped in and checked out a couple of them, and I was like, holy crap, look who's live.
Well, thank you. That's nice.
Yeah, do you find like serenity in it? Like, is it hi, by the way?
Yeah,
Hi,
you're muted.
y'all. Yes, sorry. Hi, thank you. I'm so glad that you were all able to join us again. Hello, Mathieu.
Really?
Oh, salut.
We're
Always a
glad
pleasure.
You guys are always welcome.
So there's a bit of a serenity in this. It's just a really chill time when I can talk to people, and I have a little crawler at the bottom, or a bot message that tells people, please keep your DBD questions to DBD time, because this is my time off. So and most people are super understanding, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to mention before we get into everything you guys have going on right now, I can't even think of the word still. I've been trying to figure out a way to put it. Bravo on the Alien release.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I honestly was, whenever you guys release, especially IPs, there seems to be a little more care. The attention to detail that you guys had, from just the look of the Xenomorph and Ripley, but even like to Jonesy and everything that you guys, what was a little bit of the process of going in, because you haven't really gone in depth the way you did with the Xenomorph. And I think that was the first time we really seen that much attention to detail.
Well, yes and no. I mean, and I don't want to speak for our design team, but clearly they do everything that they can do with the tool that they have at the time. And fortunately, we've been able to build up quite a toolbox over the years. And we are now at a place where all of these great ideas that people had, we can do most of them now, or many more than we could before. And that's kind of the whole point, right? And I think that the really, like, how we build maps has changed so much over the years. We started, I mean, the very first ones, like the Macmillan Estate, which is the very first one that we did, and those maps that were released at the same time, they were kind of basic. They were very, we wanted to make it so that there's no furniture, there's no details anywhere, just to give people the idea that it's the idea of a place. It's not the real place, right? It's a nightmare kind of scenario. And even the if you look at the barn in in one of the very first maps, you have this sort of distorted things where it feels like it grew, right? Some of the planks that are broken are longer than they should be because they don't make sense. And that also sort of got pushed away. And then we had the release of the Huntress a few years back, and with that Red Forest, it was the first time that we actually tried to tell a story through the map. And you find that little corner where the little girl's toys were, and it sort of continued the storytelling of the Huntress. And then when it came to, I believe, the Silent Hill map, that's where we started to really flex all of those muscles. Like the first interaction we had was the ding in the gas station, right? When you walk in front of the gas station, you hear the little ding. And that was the very first sort of interactive thing that we put in the map. And then there's the Silent Hill era where we really went all out and we allowed you to actually open those secrets if you did things in a certain sequence and everything. And then we get to the Aliens map. and we were able to really go crazy and put so many more little Easter eggs and such intricacies and everything. It's really been like it's not a rough thing. It's a progression that's from the beginning. It's taken us all the way to this day where we were finally able to really do all of these little fine attentions, like you said, attention to details. And it's not because we didn't want to or we didn't have the know-how. It's really because we didn't have the tools to do it back then, but now we do, right?
Is that something that going forward you want to keep a trend of, or it just depends on the property?
It's sort of the curse, right? We do some new stuff that's better than we've ever done, and that becomes the new bare minimum, essentially. So from one chapter to the other, we're sort of cursed to constantly outdo ourselves and find new ways to bring in even more of that original flavor, especially with licenses.
Yeah. That's the problem. That is the problem. Once you do it once, it's just.
But that's the thing. And the next time, it's not even like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's the bare minimum. Like if we don't do that, we're just shortchanging you, right? So it's. But I mean, for so many people on the team, like there were a lot of fans of Alien. Like it's not hard to find fans of Alien, but. They were really happy to be able to delve into it, and for a lot of people also go back to a legendary series that they may not have seen in a long time. Actually, I rewatched all of them in the last couple of weeks, and like including the Alien versus Predator and all of that, except the second one, Requiem, was unwatchable. But the rest are amazing, and the attention to detail in these movies and the fact that they created such a deep lore and it's exciting and it changes throughout, but it's still always nice, tense horror with a pacing that I think is unique in the world of horror, right? That really slow pace and that build up of the stress. So for us, it was really a great opportunity to be able to bring that into our game.
Did you get to Prey? The newest Predator. I guess it's Predator.
Oh, the movie. Okay, yeah. I was wondering if like, did I get to Prey? Like, I'm not a religious person. No, I did also watch Prey, which technically is not in the Aliens line. It's more the Predator. But yeah, I did watch Prey a while back, and I thought it was really fun. Actually, it's a really good movie. It's a good self-contained story in the Predator world.
Absolutely. What does that mean to you personally? And I know I'm asking you to speak for your team here, but I think it's pretty fair to get Alien. You know, it's arguably the biggest of all of them.
I mean, most of them have added something unique, right? Like when we talk about the first time we did a video game adaptation, a video game license, for us, it was a huge deal because it really legitimized what we were trying to do in this situation. But you're right. No matter how you cut it, no matter who you ask, Alien is at the top of that pile for sure. It's one of the biggest horror franchises. It's been going on. The first one was 79? And now they're finishing a new one right now. The last one was 2017. Like, it has never stopped being relevant, which is surprising, right? Not many others have managed to do that. And not just that, but they've created an imagery which is so very unique to them that you're right. It's one of the top ones. And it was I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it to you. Probably not, because we haven't talked before Alien. But the hold up on that license for us has not been on getting the license. It's been on, are we able, with the tools that we have, are we able to do justice to this world, to these creatures? And until recently, we weren't able to, and so we didn't even look at it, right? It was just not something that we felt capable of doing. Like, a xenomorph is a tough thing to recreate, and it has to be done in a way that conveys the absolute, like, it's supposed to be the perfect creature, right? It is the apex of all predators. It's the most terrifying thing you could ever encounter, and it's got a very unique way to walk around and move. It's got a very unique set of powers and all these things. We needed to be able to represent that in our game in a way that paid homage to the license, right?
Did you know, like, how confident were you, I guess is the question, that you had it down to the level that you had it? Because it's been a huge success. You know, did you wait until you knew it was going to be a success, or were you still a little bit scared?
I mean, without sounding like, I don't know how that sounds, but like, we don't release stuff that we think is going to be okay. Like usually, and we've missed the mark. Like, it happens. Sometimes we swing for the fences, and sometimes we release stuff and we say, this is going to be amazing. And then people go, it's all right. And I mean, there's such a lot of variety in the types of killers that we do, in the types of environments that we create, in the power sets that we bring in, either for the perks, for the survivors, or even the killers. We need to constantly try really, really sort of a big jump, big innovations. Because if we just do the same as last time, it's not going to work. We know that. So we try really interesting things. We try things that are really wild sometimes. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. In this case, we were pretty sure it was going to be awesome. We're glad to have discovered that we were right, but it's not been the case every time. But my point is that every single time we think it's going to be great. We hope so, right? Because if it's not good, then we'll keep at it until it is.
Yeah, that's not the title to come half with. You know what I mean? I agree. It's, you know, if you don't think you could pull it off, that's not the one to try it with. You know? Like
for sure. But at the same time, you know, it's always the thing where you're like, okay, so if we have this really, really crazy idea, we don't want to waste it on an original chapter. Fair enough. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. We don't want to try something too crazy with a killer that's licensed, and then people go, you really mucked it up this time. And we're like, that's terrible. Like, that's a position we never want to be in. But it can't be boring either. So there's no middle ground. We have to knock it out of the park every time, right?
Absolutely.
So we take wild swings. I think Nick Cage is a good example of that, right? The perks for Nick Cage. I mean, we sat down, I think, at the table the first time. We're like, okay, we're doing Nick Cage. It's really happening. So what should its perks be? And they're like, I don't know. And we have to make it a little crazy, and we have to make it a little, not goofy, but sort of chaotic and unexpected and a little funny, because that's the character, right? Mm-hmm. And it worked.
Yeah. Not to jump around a little bit here, but you mentioned it. When you guys come up with perks, there's so many. The smallest thing could screw up. You know, like, it's gotten down to such a scientific equation. Just, you know, I know it'll probably take forever to go through it, but what's it like when you guys sit and say, okay, we want to do this perk? What's some of the background work that we don't see that you have to do for that?
One of the first steps, actually, is there's usually a survey sent to the whole team. So that's like 400 people. And it's like, we have 12 ideas for perks. Please vote. And it's just like, there's like rough ideas. This perk does this. This perk does this. This perk does this. And you're like, this is interesting. This, I don't give a shit. Like, and people, everybody on the team, well, not everybody votes, but the people who are interested can vote. And therefore it comes from not just designers who have their nose in the gears every single day, but it comes from people who have maybe less of a direct relationship with the game mechanics, other impressions of the game. So it gives a bit of a varied opinion on these perks, if they're interesting or not. Then we usually have a lot of testing done internally, like play testing, which is people playing the game and trying to see if it's fun. And obviously, there's a huge pass of QA, like the quality assurance, people making sure that it works as intended. But the problem we're facing with that, if anybody's done like statistics or basic math in school, the number of combinations of perks that now exist in Dead by Daylight, especially if you count, I have 3 perks and all other survivors have another combination of 3 perks, and then the killer can be either of these 30 killers plus all the combinations of perks. It's astronomical, right? The number of combinations. So we cannot test every single combination of everything. That's why we have the PTB, which is on Steam only, but it allows us to put that in the hands of as many people as we can, people who we know are going to try to break it and screw with it and do the worst possible thing because they had it only for like a week and they try everything. And so that helps us immensely also tweak things and making sure that it's I mean, we say balance, but we have long ago embraced the chaos of Dead by Daylight, right? We know it's not tight like the rules of basketball or something, or a game of League of Legends, which is always played on the same thing with the same rules, and you can have a championship. Like, it's a great e-show. It's not an e-sport. It's too messy for that. It's chaotic, but that's part of the charm. That's why you can have someone with 5,000 hours in the game playing and still getting surprised and still having unexpected things happen every single time.
On your most recent roadmap that you guys released, we see that there is a collab with Rainbow Six Siege.
True.
You guys have done this before with PUBG.
Yep.
And
we've also done something with For Honor.
For Honor too. That's very true. I haven't seen, and just off the top of my head, I don't remember such a drastic crossover in as far as difference of games. What makes you guys keep doing this stuff? Because it's cool to see.
It's, first of all, it's fun. Secondly, we have a lot of friends at Ubisoft. They're very close companies. I mean, if you work in Montreal in the industry for any number of years, you have friends in most of the big companies, right? It's sort of it's a close-knit community. So we know a lot of their people. We've worked with them on many things. So these are easy relationships, and means that it's easy to have a chat and go, oh, by the way, we should do this. And then it happens, as opposed to others, which may be a little more delicate to negotiate. And already, because we had done something for Honor, it was sort of easy, and we talked about it. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege is a gigantic game. So for us, it was super fun to be able to do something with them. Of course, it's great visibility, but it's also really interesting because we've shown, and especially when we do things that are a little outside of our usual realm. I'm thinking right now of Attack on Titan, for instance, which was sort of a step outside of what we usually do. And we did these officer uniforms for all of our survivors and all of these things. And that was a huge success for us. Like, people really, really enjoyed it. And it didn't dilute Dead by Daylight. It didn't take away from what we are. And even if you don't know Attack on Titan and you walk around and you see one of our characters wearing that outfit, it's not going to clash, really. It's just another outfit. So there's very little risk on our side. Like, we're not taking big risks in doing that. I mean, some other collaborations might be like some characters might be too silly or might not fit with our aesthetic, but something that's sort of realistic and that's a little aggressive is sure to find its place.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, and we're gonna get to it later because obviously we're gonna be talking Chucky, which I can't fucking wait. But
that guy.
But you guys, I like that you're starting to embrace things being a little silly, things being a little funny, and having that aspect, and I think things like this, like Rainbow Six and, like you did with For Honor and all those things, it allows you to do that. And you guys seem to have been leaning into that a little bit more.
Yes and no. The thing is, and that's been the subject of quite a few really intense conversations internally, right? The we call it more or less the rainbow wig. Right. When is it too much? When is an outfit too silly, too out there? When are we breaking the so important immersion that we're trying to create in that universe of ours? And there are some people who swear by keeping the whole thing really, really tight so that it's all very cohesive. Nothing is taking you outside of the game. And there are others who say, you know what? This is the player's game. They can do what they want. If they want to be silly, they should be able to be silly. If they want to be intense, they should be able to be intense. And therefore, there are two sides to this, and there's some pull and push. I think that the important thing, for me at least, the way I see it is, the more Dead by Daylight there is, the more you're allowed to add a little dash of this and a little drop of this other thing, and you're gonna still have Dead by Daylight there. Like if it was at the very beginning on the first year and we only had very little content, anything we added risked diluting is a word that I like to use a lot with this, because it's really the idea of we need to keep the concentration of Dead by Daylight, of what is the core, what is our original content. That's why, for instance, we tried to keep it to about 50-50 original content and licensed content, so that the Dead by Daylight story, the Dead by Daylight fiction, grows at the same rate as the rest, and therefore all of these things sort of get folded. I can't stop thinking about food right now that I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter. Like all these things get folded into the mix, into the dough that is Dead by Daylight, and it's still a Dead by Daylight that we're baking, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You never make anybody happy is the problem. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah.
We make a lot of people happy, and that's good enough.
That's the goal. Absolutely. The next thing I want to talk about is Stranger Things is back. And
you noticed?
And a couple people seen that. Yeah. Actually, someone else who noticed, I was talking to someone who you might be familiar with. His name is Polyester.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I love him to death.
He is, me and him were DMing a little bit about it. He is an awesome guy.
It's funny also, because about 2 weeks before we talked about that, I was on the King and him. Every year they do an interview with me, and we just hang out and chat for about. And they, of course, asked about Stranger Things, and of course I knew, but I had to continue to be as vague and non-committal as usual, and it was super funny, especially when we talked a little later and everything was revealed.
Yeah, that's kind of what me and Paulie were talking about, because we want to know. We asked you as well, and we want to know if you lied to us like you lied to him. But yeah,
I don't like the implication here, but I didn't mislead anybody. I may not have given all the information that was available to me at the time, but none of what I said was untrue.
Okay. Yeah, and then that was the question, and kind of what me and Paulie were talking about. How long is this? Because, obviously, like everybody knows you can't let cats out of bags left and right, obviously. But how long were the talks going on? Like, because this is a big deal.
It's hard to talk about any of the details of that negotiation without giving away information that is confidential. Let's just say that when it became possible, it was really quick.
Okay. Allie, you still there? I think we lost Allie.
Allie's sleeping.
Allie fell asleep. Could you imagine?
It's okay. These are soft voices. That's why.
But the chapter, can you speak a little bit for what it meant to the community? Because, obviously, I could only imagine how many times you get asked when Stranger Things come back. But when it did come back, it was such an eruption. And you guys did it on Stranger Things Day, too. Do you guys, I'm sure you do, but can you speak to what inside you guys' studio, what the community aspect of getting that content back was?
I mean, like you talked a little bit earlier about trying to make everybody happy, and we know we can't make everybody happy, but we knew that this was one of the really rare times when nobody was going to complain. No. Or almost. Well, there's still some people who can manage to find ways to complain, but it doesn't matter. overwhelmingly people were happy about this, and we like, it's one of those things where like our PR team and our marketing team and the community managers, they're sitting there going, oh, for once we have an announcement to make that we know was not gonna, turn around and slap us in the face. Like this one is probably safe, and it was kind of refreshing and nice.
Nice. The last time we talked, you know, when we asked you about it, you said that you guys, your goal is to, you never want to lose content. And you kind of talked about that as, you know, you guys, that was something you were going to focus on going forward. Is this, you know, I know you can't talk about, you know, details of agreements and everything else, but what's it look like for the future of it? Like, okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. What I can tell you is the only other piece of content that's been removed is Attack on Titan. And that was sort of always the deal with them. It was a limited time thing. And the limited time thing is not uncommon in the industry, especially for like cosmetics and aesthetic things. The FOMO presented by this model is obviously a valid monetization strategy. And it's been brought forward and discussed many times, because we've never purposely done that in Dead by Daylight. Not yet. You know, the stuff that's in the archives, in the Rift Pass, it comes back to the store later. I mean, there's a window there where you can get it in the Rift and you know, have bragging rights, and that's great. But it's gonna come back. It's all content that at some point will make its way back into the store. It might change in the future. We might do some limited time offers on, I think, very specific things and for very specific purposes. But that's not our strategy, at least right now. That being said, it's almost impossible to sign a contract with someone and say, this is forever. Mm-hmm. Nobody will sign a forever contract, or very few people. So all of these licensing contracts have a renewal date, and every single time it's a new conversation with people. And most of the time, it's a very nice and pleasant conversation with people who are like, yes, this has been a great success for both sides. Let's continue to, you know, renew this and make it forward. But also, every single company has their own strategies and their own roadmaps and their own plans. And sometimes it clashes for one reason or another. And sometimes it's more delicate to renew. So we are not protected. We can never swear that it's never going to happen, because there are things in those conversations that are absolutely outside of our control, right?
Right.
But we certainly do everything that we can to make sure it doesn't happen, and we continue to provide all the contact. One of the things, though, that is not going to change, if you bought something, you will be able to continue to have that thing for as long as Dead by Daylight exists. What is at risk is our capacity to sell that thing or distribute that thing. So that's what happened with Stranger Things, right? The content was not removed from the game. Well, the map was, but you could still get chased by the Demogorgon. You could still play as Steve if you wanted, if you had bought it previously. It was not going to be removed. What was removed is our distribution right.
Right. And I think that's kind of just the answer that people don't like. And, you know, people who might not be familiar with things like that and IPs and everything else, but that's the way it is with everybody. And that's that's the answer nobody wants, but that's the answer nonetheless. You guys, Chucky's going to be coming to Dead by Daylight. It's still weird to say. People have been wanting. I'm sure you've heard Chucky for years and years and years, and people wanted him. And it kind of goes back to
it from the first year.
Really,
he was on the list for sure. Oh yeah,
wow. Kind of what you were saying earlier with Alien and the Xenomorph and everything. It seemed like, you know, at the time of the game, from year 1, year 2, and even year 3 probably, and maybe even on, it seemed impossible. I love Chucky. He's one of my favorite franchises. I would have loved to see him in Dead by Daylight for years, but looking at the game and the possibilities of coding and all those things of making a game, it seemed impossible. And you guys figured it out.
Yeah.
What was the attention to detail again? Like we mentioned earlier, above and beyond. What was it like?
I mean, we were able to build on a few things that we had done over the years. Like one of the things was Victor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a character that was about yay high and could run around in the grass, and so we had been able to test what it would feel like. I mean, in this case, it's only for limited time, and it doesn't it doesn't have access to all the functionalities of a killer, so we were able to sort of sidestep a few of the big issues. But we had tested some of the very important principles, which was really important. And then when we were ready to start doing it, we looked at that list of what things are going to be problematic with it, right? Like vaulting windows, putting someone on a meat hook, carrying people, all of these things. Like we knew, we need to do that when we have a killer. All of these things need to happen because of the gameplay, the way it is. How do we make sure that not only does it make sense and it doesn't look stupid, but it has to be fun and it has to be in character and it has to make sense in the world of Chucky, right?
Right.
And again, I like to name Dave in this, but the whole design team did amazing, and the animation team also, specifically on the Chucky challenges, really stepped up because it needed to look cool the whole time. And I think that seeing Chucky's little leg shuffle under a pallet is kind of magical.
Absolutely.
What was the brainstorming process like? Because you have access to the list of issues, but then was there one person whose job was to figure out, this aspect, or did you have like a team meeting where everyone came together and was throwing out? Because I think what you guys landed on, it was a little bit, it was very out of the box, but it works. It works really well.
Yeah, getting the ghost in there was a stroke of genius, I'd say.
Absolutely.
To me, it's on par with the day when Dave showed me Michael Myers, and he was just standing there watching you, and I'm like, this is stupid, but it's also genius because it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. But you're in a video game, and the bad guy is just standing there doing nothing. But both of us are having the time of our lives, so really, you've done something masterful here. And it was sort of the same deal with the idea of the ghost, which is, I mean, in fiction it's kind of weird because it's the ghost of himself, right? He's the spirit possessing the doll, so it's sort of weird that is disembodied persona or whatever. But that meeting that you're talking about, that very big meeting that happened, was actually us sitting down with the people at Universal and talking through everything that we needed to do to make that character happen, and them being super on board from day one and sort of bouncing ideas off of each other to figure out how we're going to make this happen, right? And that's amazing when you work with people who are familiar with your product. They know their product, of course, from beginning to end in details, and they're able to make decisions with it that if you're just dealing with, let's say, an agent handling someone else's property, they don't have that luxury, right? So in the case,
that's fantastic.
We were able to.
It's like a collaboration with Universal,
and those are always not only the most fun for us, but they, in my opinion, they are the ones that yield the best results, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we can sort of take the source material and sort of expand it to fit within the box that is Dead by Daylight, so that it becomes something slightly new, but that's like we're painting a picture using a different set of brushes, right? And so it needs to be slightly different. We're not doing photorealistic stuff, if my metaphor holds.
It does, because I mean, different brushes, different tools entirely, because it works seamlessly, and it shouldn't work at all. But you mentioned working with Universal, and I don't obviously know who exactly was involved, but you have guys like Don Mancini over there, and Child's Play / Chucky they've always been such a tight knit franchise.
Yep.
Everyone, the same people are always involved, and I think that's what kept it as strong as it did for as long as it's been strong. You kind of answered the question working with Universal back and forth, but were you guys able to work with anyone, like a Don Mancini, go through that process, and even, working with obviously Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly for the voice lines, which are a whole nother conversation.
These are the only two names I can drop in this conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, having the real voices was, I mean, it's, again, from the moment we've done that, it has become the bare minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's now something that's absolutely expected from everything that we do. So we do our best to deliver on these. But it was really awesome. And seriously, hearing Chucky scream at survivors as he's walking around, and especially that Maury, it's so good.
Oh, yeah. That Maury has been going around. I look through the trends on Twitter, and some people send me stuff on TikTok. I don't use it.
Yeah.
All I see is the Maury, and people couldn't believe it.
It's in the first 5 minutes of the PTB, people make videos of the Maurys immediately and post it everywhere, right? It's usually the first thing that people look for. So yeah, and in this case, I think we totally delivered. Like that little shit is really kicking the hell out of people.
Oh, literally,
Yep.
that kick in the end.
That little kick at the end is just perfect. It's like,
it gets
why
me
don't
every
you
time.
Die already.
What was it like as with the voice lines? Because I had seen conversations too, actually, where people were talking about, did Dead by Daylight take it too far? Because like we've always seen, like visually, obviously, there's implications of people being killed, and but when it's certain words, we were talking about it earlier, certain words just automatically get looked at differently.
Well,
what was that like balancing that line?
It's funny because the game has always been 18 plus, right? From day one.
Absolutely.
It's just we decided it was gonna happen. Now, the first few Maurys, we tried to be as not necessarily tame, but this was not the whole point, right? The whole point was it's really based off of, especially movies like Halloween, like the old school slasher movies, where it's all about the anticipation of the violence, not so much about showing it. And I think when we did The Hag, which was end of the first year, she's the first one with a very, very explicit Maury, where she just rips people apart and she actually eats their organs, and you see the little organs in her hand. And from that moment, we're like, oh, no, we probably need to really push this and make them, that's the payoff, right? That's the big moment. And even if you get killed, it's kind of fun to watch. So it became one of the moments when the killers can sort of express themselves in a certain way. And so, again, this is another place where our original strategy sort of changed throughout the years, and the Maury became much more explicit, and sort of the one moment in the game when we can really show, or we allow ourselves to really show violence in a very graphic way, because the rest of the game, it's very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as words go, I mean, you can't do Chucky and not swear.
Yes, it's true.
That's super fair.
It's just like,
oh, Al, yeah, there you go.
You can't.
No, and for Alley streams, obviously we have the podcast and other projects where we talk with our community, and obviously these things come up, and even just the the bullshitting afterwards, just amongst friends.
Yeah,
that's more than half of what people talk about, is the attitude he's got, and all that, and to capture that, like, that's half the battle. And the fact that you guys had that in there, and as stupid as it may sound, that you were aware enough, because a lot of people miss some boats when they handle IPs and everything, but to go that extra mile it's so important, and you guys realizing that and capturing it.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to judge how other people's are handling licenses,
sure,
but our universe allows us I mean, when we choose licenses that fit well, which is usually what we try to do, our universe allows us to treat them in a very specific way that's sort of very serious, but also there's flexibility there for them to be themselves, as opposed to, let's say, Fortnite, for instance, because I just saw a clip while we were releasing Stranger Things, and they had the Demogorgon in Fortnite, and it was doing a Fortnite dance. I'm like, that's sort of off character for the Demogorgon to do that. Obviously, that little dance. We would never have that in our game, and I'm not dissing on Fortnite. They clearly know a thing or two about making video games,
of course.
But the way they represent licenses in their game is the way they do things, right? And all of these things become Fortnite in a very, very serious way, which is absolutely fine. If you're a fan of Fortnite, you're happy that the Demogorgon acts Fortnite-y in there. But in our world, I think that we maintain quite a lot of the original personality of the characters that we bring in a way that is not possible in other games.
Yeah. And there's room for both. You know, like
absolutely. That's why I'm certainly not dissing. I'm not saying we're doing it better or less. I think maybe, though, that our integration of licenses are maybe more significant in that sense, because they become part of the world, they enrich our world, and they bring in quite a lot more of what they are, more than just their appearance.
Yeah, because I love Michael Myers being Michael Myers. That's my favorite Michael Myers. But, you know, sometimes I want to, you know, do the electric slide as Michael Myers, too.
There you go. And you can. That's wonderful.
Right.
Aren't we lucky?
It's a great time to be a gamer in the horror realm. Yeah. Allie, your mic is back, right?
Yeah.
Great time
Matthew,
for technical issues.
Yeah, right. You mentioned some of the challenges of the mechanics of Chucky, building off Victor, and were there any like fun concepts that ended up being scrapped for Chucky?
The thing is, we try things, and stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor has a way of coming back later in a different form, right? So it's always a little delicate to talk about these things that didn't make it into the game, because if they're good, there's a very good chance that we'll try to reuse them in some way or other on upcoming content. But I'd say that for Chucky, most of what we decided early on ended up working really, really well. And so there weren't really big changes of direction during the production of Chucky, as we sometimes have had in the past, right? We've had experiences where we have an idea for a killer, we try it, when it gets to the prototyping phase, we're like, this is shit, we have to rethink everything. In this case, it wasn't. Like, it was super fun from the get-go, and it worked. So there's not that much that didn't make it into Chucky.
That's great to hear. You guys, you've changed so much, and my question, I guess, is what do these changes mean for the future of the game? And, you know, for example, Chucky's a third-person killer, and, you know, the community wants everything. They want killers that fly. And I feel like Chucky took a lot of chains off that you guys have had before. You know, what are these things you're looking to expand on for the future of the game? Are you already looking at stuff like that? You know, what do these changes mean for your future?
That's a difficult question to answer. You're right. We took some liberties with Chucky. We had to, right? In the same way that we took some liberties also with the Xenomorph just before. And even, I'd say, probably the biggest one in that chapter was the addition of the turrets for the survivors, right? Which was a big departure. Now, does that mean that the next chapters that we're going to do, the next killers, the next survivor powers are going to be even more meta shaking?
Right.
Kinda. I mean, that's kind of what we need to do every single time, right? We need to shake things up. We need to keep things fresh. We need to surprise people, keep people on their tippy toes. So yes, that's a trend that is probably not going away. Now, as far as the big stretches and big changes in the game, I mean, we do some fun things in our limited time events, the Halloween event, for instance, or the whole snowman thing. If you've played during that period, like
Love the
we've
snowman.
we've done some things like that for limited time. Those are super fun and people enjoy them. So we'll continue to do these kind of things and sort of allow ourselves to see what else Dead by Daylight could be. But I think the for me at least, what I find the most interesting to look forward to is what we're doing with our other projects that are currently in the work. Right, we've acquired a studio in Seattle a couple of years ago called Midwinter. They're currently working on a not totally announced, but I think we've said 3 things about that project, which is a game in the Dead by Daylight universe, and it is a co-op game that you'll be able to play with friends. There's no PvP in it. And so, without going in details, because obviously I can't talk about anything here, but
right,
we have other places where we're able to experiment a little more. I mean, the whole project also with Supermassive, which is coming fast, by the way, which is a completely narrative single player experience in the world of Dead by Daylight, which allows us to really delve into some of the fun narrative stuff and really go deep in the deep lore of DBD. So there are ways for us now that were not available to us years ago, where we can test more mechanics of what the entity can create as far as universe mechanics, and then the story, how we tell stories also. So yeah, there's more.
Awesome to hear. I would be probably burned at the stake if I didn't ask you this. The Dead by Daylight movie. Last time we spoke, the writer's strike was, tying you guys down a little bit. We had Ryan Turek from Blumhouse on recently. He was super excited to talk about. Yeah.
I love Ryan.
He is amazing.
We've been talking for years with Ryan, actually.
Really?
Yeah. This is not a new conversation for us. It's just been revealed recently, but we had been in the talks with Blumhouse for a long time. The biggest hurdle for us was to find someone that had a good track record, but really someone who was familiar enough with Dead by Daylight and was inspired by Dead by Daylight to write something that would make sense in our world, right? We've created a universe that is malleable and flexible enough that it could be many things, but there are also many things it couldn't be.
Yes.
And we've had conversations with ridiculously talented known people from Hollywood who said, hey, I could do this, and pitch us something, and we're like, oh my god, I want to see this, but it's not a DVD thing. And that's kind of heartbreaking. But we want to make sure that the day I go to the movie theater to see the Dead by Daylight movie, what I see on the screen is Dead by Daylight through and through, right?
Yeah.
So Ryan knows this. Ryan plays the game as much as, I mean, he plays the game quite a lot. Like he knows the game inside and out. So he's a great help for us in sort of vetting people and figuring out who's the real deal. Because people will say, yeah, no, I know the game, and then they'll start talking about it, and you go, bullshit. So as you mentioned, of course, the writer's strike was put a bit of a dampener on that, and then the actor's strike also made things difficult, but it seems to all have been resolved in a very positive way for most people involved, I guess, except for the big studio execs, but
they'll be all right.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be crying on their billion-dollar yacht. So those conversations now can start again in a much more active way, which is very exciting.
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this question or how much depth even, but do you think you might have found the person to create, or is there a bright light at the end of that search tunnel?
Yeah, I can't answer that.
Okay, that's fair.
I cannot wait to be able to answer that though.
Yeah, yeah. And then
and tell you, look who signed.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just since you can't talk about whether or not some genius has been signed behind the scenes yet, are you feeling really good? Are you excited about the Blumhouse partnership generally? Because, you know, we just had FNAF come out. They're doing video game titles. They're doing other, you know, adaptations and stuff. It's a good time to be partnered with Blumhouse, right?
Yes, it is. And it's Blumhouse, and it's also Atomic Monster, right? Which is James Wan's company. And if you know anything about James Wan, you know that obviously this is a great company to be associated with. I think that in the world of horror movies, Blumhouse has managed to create, like, it's a relatively recent company. If you look at all the the movie companies, right? It's sort of a young buck in the race, but they really managed to make a name for themselves for amazing quality horror. A lot of it was shot really cheaply in a sense, but it never looks or feels cheap. Like, there's a lot of movies that happen in just one house, and they were very smart in the way that they've allowed people to create movies, and they've been able to sign some really interesting people. I mean, the whole Jordan Peele has done some really great stuff with them. They've done the Halloween, the revival. Like, they've done some really, really interesting stuff. So yeah, I think that it would have been really hard to find a better partner for this.
And that's what horror is all about, always, right? You know, it's always been the genre that doesn't get much money, and you got to make, you know, gold out of shit sometimes, and that's the genre to do it in. Absolutely. We do have a couple of kind of, I guess, community questions, I guess we could call them. Just a lot of stuff that our community, and I'm sure you guys have never heard the end of the question. Allie, you try me.
Yeah, so cross progression has always been something that has really been sought after by the community. On your website, it does say it remains on your radar, but is limited to Steam and Epic at the moment. Is that something you're still actively working on?
Yeah, but I can't give more details than that. And that's one of the subjects that I really don't want to get into, because it's a lot of it has to do with technical limitations and hurdles and hurdles between the way things happen with different first party. So yeah, I don't want to get into that. Paul, I'll pass on this.
That's
one.
Fine.
Okay.
Disenchanting items is another thing that we've seen coming up over and over. You know, and I mean, myself included, I can't tell you how many brown add-ons I'm never going to use, and have hundreds of them. And you know,
how many broken keys?
Yeah.
Is that something you guys have ever looked at? Finding the answer for?
Actually, in the first month of Dead by Daylight, I remember we talked about that. So it is a subject that keeps popping up. I mean, it's not. It's a small annoyance, or it's an opportunity. I think more to the point, it's something that we could build over there and do something cool. But if we don't, nobody's in pain because of it right now, right? You might be annoyed that you've got another bullshit item you're never going to use. Fair enough. But it's not a pain point right now. It's a great opportunity, and we might do something really cool with that. But yeah, it's important and an opportunity, but it's not a pain point, which usually gets a lot more priority.
Right. Another thing that a lot of people talk about is PTB. You mentioned it earlier, only available to Steam. There were talks recently, I think this last PTB, maybe Alien, I don't remember, but about that coming to console. There any progress on that, or?
I mean, don't get me wrong, some technical people might be able to figure something out. It's just that on Steam, it is such a simple matter. It's such a simple thing to do, and it works well, and it's supported natively by the platform. And it fills its purpose. I guess that for people, it's really exciting to be able to see and get the content beforehand and get a little taste so that they can buy it later. But like I was saying earlier, the purpose of the PTB is for us to be able to test stuff before it goes out so that we can make sure it's really, really shiny and polished. And that purpose is currently filled with the people that we have on Steam.
Yeah, I think people forget that. Like, it's not, the goal isn't for everybody to play as Chucky. The goal is to fix the bugs for you guys.
Because if that was the goal, we could say, the first week, everybody gets everything for free. And then after that, we put a paywall. That's not what we do, right? The PTB is there for us to test. And that's why also sometimes people will play the PTB and then they'll buy the thing and go, hey, it's different. And we go, yeah, we think it's better, but it's different because the PTB's goal is to test things.
The last time that we spoke to you, we mentioned the possibility of different game modes. If there was a possibility or if there was any update on that?
Yeah, I sort of hinted at that a little bit earlier, saying that we've done that in some of our limited time events, whether it's the Halloween event or the snowman or things like that. And we've done that a few times, and we will certainly continue to do that. Game modes are something that we talked a bit about it during the anniversary, I believe. And yeah, there's some really cool stuff that I don't know what shape it's gonna take to get to you, but you're gonna see some really cool stuff with that.
Okay, look forward to it.
Was that too much? No, that's just enough.
Is that another bleep?
No, that's good.
No bleeps. Matthew, thank you so much for your time today, sir. We appreciate you immensely.
It's always nice.
Absolutely. Aud as well. Thank you so much for your help with everything. Just to wrap it up really quick, you guys, with the addition of Chucky and, even Alien, the world you Behavior in general has created is absolutely incredible. And, just thank you for everything you guys do for the genre, honestly.
Thank you for the kind words. It's really nice to hear. I mean, we do this because we're passionate and most of us have a good time most of the time. So we'll definitely keep at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to talk to you because of your knowledge of your product, obviously, but your passion is, what makes it fun to talk to you. And we just thank you again for your time today, Matthew. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very nice to hear.
Thank you guys.
I'm always gonna pick up the phone for you guys for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That means the world to us. You guys.
And please, Mike, don't ever hesitate to circle back to me. I told you this is. Please circle back whenever I'm not quick enough to answer because it's very important to us that we continue to talk to you guys, and we love doing podcasts. So continue keep the horror genre on top. Really,
you are the absolute best. I wish there were 1 million odds that worked for every PR company in the world. We need to clone her.
It's enough.
We can't clone her.
It's ours. You can't have it.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great
day. There you have it, Mathieu Cote. We appreciate him and everybody over at Behavior for hopping on with us. Make sure to check him out on Twitter at mcote_BHVR. Google Dead by Daylight. They're at Dead by Daylight. They're not hard to find. Chucky out November 28th. I can't fucking wait to scamper around with that little bastard. Check out the game if you haven't already. We have a Discord too, so that's another thing. For existing players, you want to hop in there, more than welcome. You can check all our socials at Slasher Radio on Twitter, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. Tiers starting as low as $3 a month. Please support the show, support indie horror, all that good stuff. The next show every week. Get the behind the scenes, before and after, and during bullshit that doesn't make the show. Can I start cutting the Gobblegly Mystical on there and putting it on Patreon?
No.
Rob?
No.
You're not gonna vote me on this one?
No, it has to stay on the main show. Fuck. We have people who consider that their favorite segment. We can't just cut it.
We also have people that send in that are just listeners and not patrons. So.
Fuck them. They should at least fucking pay. I'll be damned. Do we really? Are you kidding me? Those are the worst ones.
Mikey, I'll tell you something else. We have people that don't listen to the show that send in Kabaguli mystery corners, and I don't know how the fuck that happened.
I'm trying to figure that out myself, to be honest with you. How the fuck does that happen? Yeah, patreon.com/slasher radio, @slasher on Twitter. And I think that's it. We're going to be starting the slashies up sooner than I can believe. So starting in January, first week of January, we will be starting the Slashy Awards. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you'll be able to vote for your favorite horror topics of the year. This is the third year we're doing it. Third annual Slashy Award, Rob.
Yes, it is. Do you need me to set up the spreadsheet for that?
Nope, not you.
No?
God damn. Yeah, no, don't touch any goddamn spreadsheets, all right? Keep your fingers off it, all of them.
I did a good job with the spreadsheets.
No, you didn't. What else? That's it. You can check me out at Mikey's Dead on Twitter. You can check out the other show. It doesn't matter that you're here, Allie. I'm still going to do it the same way I always do. The other show that I do with Little Miss Huge Clown Penis.
Huge Clown Penis.
Allie Surreal. It's called Cult FM. You can check that out wherever you're listening to Slasher Radio. And that's it for me. Rob, what about you?
I am on social media at Radio Rob123. You can listen to the other show that Kat and I do together, the Nick F. and Woo Cage Cast, where we will be talking about 1994's, I believe. It could happen to you on the new episode. And also, I guess, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, right?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Imagine the mashed potato spread at Tasha's place today.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
All
Delicious.
the mashed potatoes.
All stolen.
Yeah, all free.
You can find me on Twitter at cat_velour or check out my website, catvelour.com, VOLEUR. I have a bunch of amazing books, and by that I mean Puppet Shark, the novelization. So look for that.
Allie, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Allie Surreal on Twitter and Twitch.
Yes, you stream Dead by Daylight.
That's correct.
Yeah. When do you stream again? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, right?
Yes, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
And movie night in her Discord that Rob has been annoying me in frequently every Friday.
Yeah, you try to keep it a secret from me now.
I pinged at everyone.
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
But yeah, Kat, he came in there and yelled at me because I didn't tell him. It's the same time every week, and you've been there for like 3 weeks in a row. God damn. Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a couple of people who helped us throughout the process. Stuff like this, when you get to talk to people like Mathieu Cote, who's in a position that he's in the game and so knowledgeable of every aspect of it. You have a million questions you can ask them. Then you get into stuff that you're personally invested in the game and you want to know, but we gotta ask questions that everyone wants to know. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. So getting people that are involved in the community and invested in it is pretty important to us. Just to shout out these people that helped us out. Twitch streamers, Huff and Puff, Straying Bat, Crescent Dude 85, Will the Thrill. Oh shit, I don't have my button ready. Will the Thrill. He's Darth Duke Rye on YouTube.
Don't call him names.
That's his name on there.
Dr. Dookie or whatever you call him.
Be nice to Will. Shout out to them for helping us throughout this process, just being involved. Allie has a really dope community. We have a really dope community. And the fact that they can come together in the way that they have and overlapped and, just it's a very harmonious thing. And, the fact that gaming can help with that as well as movies. There's a lot of discussion about movies as well as, stuff like Dead by Daylight and gaming in general. So it's really dope.
I agree with all that, except I don't like that Huff guy.
Yeah, you don't like Huff. Allie too, not for nothing though. A lot of this is not possible without Allie. So as much shit as I give you, Allie, thank you as well for helping throughout all this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, Allie once again saved our podcast.
Why you gotta I was just see when I'm nice, this is what happens. What the
I'm
fuck?
being nice.
What? Everyone's being nice. What's wrong?
Yeah, but you guys know I get uncomfortable when people are nice to Allie, especially in front of me, and you gotta do it.
You started it.
You were just nice.
Right, and so you end it there, leave it. Come on, that hurt me enough.
I'm agreeing with you.
It has been said before that Allie is the lifeblood of Slasher Radio.
Oh, has it, Rob?
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what else has also been said?
Rude and lazy, Allie. She's no longer the lifeblood of slasher radio at this point.
Just saying.
I think I just made a comeback though.
I
That's
think
what I'm
so.
hearing.
Oh, Rob, you son of a bitch. That was a
Let's
dirty
go.
fucking thing to do just right there that you did. That was mean.
I think that you can get a title and you can lose a title, but then it can be rebestowed. And I think maybe Allie's earned it back.
Yeah.
Look at that. Happy ending.
This motherfucker just said rebestowed. Are you kidding me? God damn it. Good night from Slasher Radio. There you have it, Mathieu Cote. We appreciate him and everybody over at Behaviour for hopping on with us. Make sure to check him out on Twitter at mcote_BHVR. Google Dead by Daylight. They're at Dead by Daylight. You know, all the, they're not hard to find. Chucky out November 28th. I can't fucking wait to scamper around with that little bastard. Check out the game if you haven't already. We have a Discord too, so that's another thing. For existing players, you want to hop in there, more than welcome. You can check all our socials at Slasher Radio on Twitter, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. Tiers starting as low as $3 a month. Please support the show, support indie horror, all that good stuff. The next show every week. Get the behind the scenes, before and after, and during bullshit that doesn't make the show. Can I start cutting the Gobbledygook Mystical on there and putting it on Patreon?
No.
No? Rob?
No.
Yeah. Are you not going to vote me on this one?
No, it has to stay on the main show. Fuck. We have people who consider that their favorite segment. We can't just cut it.
We also have people that send in that are just listeners and not patrons. So
fuck them. They should at least fucking pay. I'll be damned. Do we really? Are you kidding me? Those are the worst ones.
Mikey, I'll tell you something else. We have people that don't listen to the show that send in Gobbledygook Mystery Corners, and I don't know how the fuck that happened.
I'm trying to figure that out myself, to be honest with you. How the fuck does that happen?
We've had so I make I make a strong case about how I keep this anonymous. I don't even remember who sends me what, because that's not information I keep, and I get too many of these to keep track of.
That's a good problem to have.
But genuinely, some of them are wild cards. Like, some of them I'll just like look at the submissions and it's like, I don't know how this happened.
Jesus Christ, man.
And I can never share that information because it's all anonymous, as you know, but
you know what? We should make, I don't know, man. I feel like there should be some type of there should be like a star you put on someone who's a patron and they do it. Something. They should get privilege, not for nothing, even though they're assholes sent it in the first place. They should at least get something where I know a filthy normie sent this in. Right? I could be a little more mean to it and not feel bad, maybe. I don't know.
Have you been feeling bad?
Yeah, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. I'll get less mad at you for sending Gobbledygook Mystery Corner memes, I guess. At Slasher Radio on Twitter. And I think that's it. We're going to be starting the slashies up sooner than I can believe. So starting in January, first week of January, we will be starting the Slashy Awards. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you'll be able to vote for your favorite horror topics of the year. This is the third year we're doing it. Third annual Slashy Award, Rob.
Yes, it is. Do you need me to set up the spreadsheet for that?
Nope, not you.
No?
God damn. Yeah, no, don't touch any goddamn spreadsheets, all right? Keep your fingers off it, all of them.
I did a good job with the spreadsheets.
No, you didn't. Kat, remember that time me and you were arguing in the morning on the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Or was that me and Rob? I think I might did it with both of you, yeah.
I remember how mad Kat got the first time she shared a spreadsheet with us.
She was not happy.
I woke up to our group chat and Kat just cussing everybody out.
Like, what the fuck went on here?
That's because I was like, I'm going to be really nice. I'm going to hop in and I'm going to help with the spreadsheet organization. And you fucks had written You had not only were you like taking comments in the different cells of the spreadsheet that bled over into other cells, you had so many comments that I couldn't open the spreadsheet at first. It had to load in because there was so much extra shit on there. And you had written your comments over top of one another's comments. So I couldn't even highlight to move them to read what the fuck was going on.
I think that is one of the days we argued on there and just left it too, Rob,
Yeah,
I believe.
that sounds right.
Ay, vey. What else? That's it. You can check me out at Mikey's Dead on Twitter. You can check out the other show. It doesn't matter that you're here, Allie. I'm still going to do it the same way I always do. The other show that I do with Little Miss Huge Clown Penis.
Huge clown penis.
Allie Surreal. It's called Cult FM. You can check that out wherever you're listening to Slasher Radio. And that's it for me. Rob, what about you?
I am on social media at Radio Rob123. You can listen to the other show that Kat and I do together, the Nick F and Woo Cage Cast, where we will be talking about 1994's, I believe. It could happen to you on the new episode. And also, I guess, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, right?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Imagine the mashed potato spread at Tasha's place today.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
All
Delicious.
the mashed potatoes.
All stolen.
Yeah, all free.
It's pretty fucking funny. She could start a hustle, man, getting some mashed potatoes around on Thanksgiving, just selling them black market style.
Yeah, she could. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Gabagool Day to everyone.
God damn it, Kat. That's not nice.
You can find me on Twitter at cat_velour or check out my website, catvelour.com, VOLEUR. I have a bunch of amazing books, and by that I mean Puppet Shark, the novelization. So look for that.
Allie, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Allie Surreal on Twitter and Twitch.
Yes, you stream Dead by Daylight.
That's correct.
Yeah. When do you stream again? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, right?
Yes, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
And movie night in her Discord that Rob has been annoying me in frequently every Friday.
Yeah, you try to keep it a secret from me now.
I pinged at everyone.
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
But yeah, Caddy came in there and yelled at me because I didn't tell him. It's the same time every week, and you've been there for like 3 weeks in a row. God damn. Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a couple of people who helped us throughout the process. Stuff like this, when you get to talk to people like Mathieu Cote, who's in a position that he's in with the game and so knowledgeable of every aspect of it, you have a million questions you can ask them. You know, then you get into stuff that you're personally invested in the game and you want to know, but we gotta ask questions that, everyone wants to know. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. So getting people that are involved in the community and invested in it is pretty important to us. And just to shout out these people that helped us out, Twitch streamers, Huff and Puff, Straying Bat, Crescent Dude 85, Will the Thrill. Oh shit, I don't have my button ready. Will the Thrill me. He's Darth Duke Rye on YouTube.
Don't call him names.
That's his name on there.
Dr. Dookie or whatever you call him.
Be nice to Will. Shout out to them for helping us throughout this process, just being involved. Allie has a really dope community. We have a really dope community. And the fact that they can come together in the way that they have and overlapped and, it's a very harmonious thing. And, the fact that gaming can help with that as well as movies. There's a lot of discussion about movies as well as, stuff like Dead by Daylight and gaming in general. So it's really dope.
I agree with all that, except I don't like that Huff guy.
Yeah, you don't like Huff.
But the nibs.
Allie too, not for nothing though. A lot of this is not possible without Allie. So as much shit as I give you, Allie, thank you as well for helping throughout all this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, Allie once again saved our podcast.
Why you gotta, I was just saying, when I'm nice, this is what happens. What the fuck?
I'm being nice.
What? Everyone's being nice. What's wrong?
Yeah, but you guys know I get uncomfortable when people are nice to Allie, especially in front of me, and you go ahead and do it.
You started it.
You were just nice.
Right, and so you end it there, leave it. Come on, like that hurt me enough.
I'm agreeing with you.
It has been said before that Allie is the lifeblood of slasher radio.
Oh, has it, Rob?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what else has also been said?
Rude and lazy, Allie. She's no longer the lifeblood of slasher radio at this point.
Just saying.
I think I just made a comeback, though.
I
That's
think
what I'm
so.
hearing.
Oh, Rob, you son of a bitch. That was a
Let's
dirty
go.
fucking thing to do just right there that you did. That was mean.
I think that you can get a title and you can lose a title, but then it can be rebestowed. And I think maybe Allie's earned it back.
Yeah.
Look at that. Happy ending.
This motherfucker just said rebestowed. Are you kidding me? God damn it. Next week, Patreon pick. So patreon.com/radio if you want to get in and have a say on our movie topic next week. Oh, actually, we know what that is, don't we? Because we had a lot of backed up
We have
stuff.
a schedule.
What? I don't know what it is.
Don't pay attention either.
Isn't it Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Is it Attack of the I'm checking right now. I completely forgot. It is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh,
What?
all right.
We just did our last watch along, which our last watch party. We did that and you liked it. What was the problem? Everyone had
No,
fun.
that was Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Oh, it
Yeah.
sure fucking was.
Attack of the Killer
Oh,
Donuts
shit.
is awesome.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is awesome. Rob?
We'll see. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Me either.
I thought it was really bad. Does it have George Clooney in it?
It does.
That's
It's his
Return of the
best
Killer
movie.
Tomatoes.
Oh, it's Return?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I ain't got that to look forward to then.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get to watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes again all this time. And now, fuck. All right. We'll see how next week
Well, it's a
goes.
good thing I said something or you'd have watched the wrong fucking movie.
No, I would have checked. Well, I don't know, maybe. Might have, not gonna lie.
When did this vote happen? I didn't even know this happened.
Me neither.
Did I not send it in the cat news? So you had to know.
Oh, I've been campaigning for this all year. You might not have announced it.
I didn't announce it, but I think I sent it to you guys in the group. No?
I thought so, but
Yeah, I had to have.
There's no way I missed a message in the group.
You're a lying motherfucker is what you are, Mr. Humphrey, all right? All right, that's it, guys. Thank you again to the Behavior. Go check out Dead by Daylight. Chucky coming out. I can't fucking wait. Chucky, I love you.
HIDEY-HO.
Good night from Slasher Radio.
All the best with Slasher Radio Podcast.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.